Sup, Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. It's one half a fat stack of comics here. Chloe, the geek chic comic mystique. And I'm here to bring you a review on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret History of the Foot Clan #2. Check out that cover. It is something awesome right there. I love this down here, especially with the van and the limo and the ninja fight. That's pretty freaking awesome. Let me just start out by telling you guys I'm a super hardcore fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up with the series. I love anything Turtles, and I mean, I can't really express how much I do love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up watching the show. I had the toys. I had the comforter set. I probably even had a stuffed animal somewhere. But absolutely love the Turtles, and I love this book because it does have a lot of that classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle feel. This is something, like, if you're a Turtles fan, if you grew up with the Turtles, I'd recommend this book. It's definitely awesome for you TMNT lovers out there, like myself. The first issue of this series, it was really good, and it was more of an introductory issue. I really enjoyed it. But #2, let me just go ahead and tell you, issue #2 was amazing. It blew #1 out of the water. Like, it just, even the way it started out was better than the first book, and if this series continues on a path like that, where the next issue just gets better than the last, this series will be an amazing series. That's all I have to say on that. But let's start out with my review on #2. This book opens up with the crew spying in the van, classic TMNT conversation between Leo and Casey and April, and then I think Mikey, or yeah, it's probably Mikey that butts in somewhere in there. And they're watching Dr. Miller talking to someone, and then I think it's Leo that recognizes her as Karai, and they're like, oh goodness, what's going on now? And they get in the limo together and start following them. Well, Karai notices from the limo that the van's following them, and she's telling the driver, like, step on it, lose them, we've got to get away from them, because I think she knows it's the Turtles. And it goes into this whole car chase, because April's like, oh no, we're losing them, and they're trying to catch up. It goes in this car chase, and they're in a tunnel, and you see, like, car lights blurring, and cars smashing, and metal clanking, and classic great car chase scene. It was just drawn amazing, done amazing. But to top it all off, you've got Foot Clan ninjas coming out of the limo, and the Turtles coming out of the van, and they're fighting on top of the cars during the car chase. And there's classic TMNT Witty Banner in there. It's just a classic Turtles fight. Like, it really is. It was just amazing to see that. I felt like I was literally watching the TV show again. Like, that's how great that part was. Like, and Karai, she goes and she shoots an arrow into the tire, and then April crashes the van. And the Turtles are like, let's catch up to them. And Casey's like, I'm good, I'm going to check out April. And April's like, you're going to do what? And that was great to read. I love anything Casey and April related. Like, just their relationship in general. Whether it be written as friends or more than friends, I love seeing it. I just absolutely love those two characters. And, like, you see where the Turtles lose them. And then apparently one of the Turtles plants a tracking device on Dr. Miller. And they've taken Dr. Miller back to this, I guess, tower somewhere. And they're trying to tell him, hey, we need your expertise. And the leader of the Foot Clan comes out, and he's like, is it real? It's really real. And then he shows him the book. The book has a name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he shows him the book, and he's like, it's real. And he's like, yes, I need your expertise. I need your studies on this. The book is called Ashi no Himitsu, I think. And then it goes into a flashback scene where Oroku Saki and Tatasu Takashi, like, reborn into Oroku Saki. I'm butchering these names. And it's great. I love the first scene, how it opens. It's like this, I guess, some Asian guy is asking him, which of these things are yours? He goes, this, and this. I make this. And then the guy's like, no, none of these things are yours. And then the kid starts crying, and the Asian guy tells Saki's father, this is Takashi reborn. And Tetezo Takashi reborn, or something like that. And like, it goes into, I guess, further when he's grown up. And, oh, well, in that part, he's like, if you give him love, something that the original Tatasu never had, then maybe he could change. And it shows him growing up and he's being a creeper, hitting on Yoshi's wife, and they get into like this big fight, and then I guess Saki's dad, Takashi, whatever, his dad breaks it up and they separate, and then they're both called back into a room where they're like, you're both going to join the clan. And of course Saki gets mad because he wants all the glory. He feels like his path is meant for destiny and he feels like he's not getting there. And his father tells, or Saki's father tells Yoshi, go out and check on him. And they have this conversation, and Saki's like, I've always felt like I was destined for greatness, but I guess I was wrong about my destiny. And it's kind of like they're not angry at each other. He's just angry at himself because he wants to be the center of attention. He wants to be more. And then he goes off on his own, and I guess he's meditating maybe, trying to get his thoughts collected and just really figure out what he wants to do with his life. And then Demon Dog, it's got 3 tails, I don't really know her name, I guess she can be considered a fox maybe, or a cat, I'm not sure, dog, cat, fox, something, comes in, and this is a really awesome scene because she's not only calling his name, but also Teizu Takashi's name as well, like she's calling both of the names, and she's saying your legacy's hidden in the floor. And then it jumps forward back into time where they're all at the van, and they're trying to fix it so they can go track Dr. Miller. And there's this classic line, I love it, I vaguely got it at first, and then Mark had to say something before it really registered with me. They're sitting there and Donatello's fixing the tire, and they're like, why didn't you guys fix it? And I think is it Mikey maybe that says, no, it's Raphael that says, yeah, Donatello does machines, and that's great. That was from the original cartoon series, and that was just hilarious. Like, I can't explain that. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle humor, so that just cracked me up. And I love how you see Master Splinter in the background. So Master Splinter is in this book. That's something that I'm just like, yes, I love Master Splinter. So I was really excited to see him in the background. And they finally get the van fixed, and they go to the location, and they're like, you see Casey and April in the elevator, and they're having this little conversation. That was definitely cute to watch. I loved that. And then they open up the doors, and there are all these foot soldiers, and you're like, oh crap. And then the turtles just pop out of nowhere and start duking it out, and it turns into this giant turtle ninja battle in the hall. And then the leader of the Foot Clan calls a Lopex, I think that's how you say that, and it's like, take Dr. Miller, and Dr. Miller's like, a mutant? Why do I have to go with the mutant? Like, he's like, ooh, kind of leery of it, as he should be. And then he goes out to the hall to fight the battle, and that's where it leaves off. But you see this one little bitty panel I would love to show you, but I'm not going to show you. Well, I guess I could show you because I'm going to tell you. And you see one little bitty panel down here of a flashback with Saki, and he's reading the book, and I think he's becoming a little shocked. He's in shock, and he's realizing who he really is, and I can't wait for the next issue on this to continue that, because I want it now. Like, I want to find out what's going on. Lucky for me, Wednesday's tomorrow, and I can pick up, well, some of my comics, but not this one. I can't wait for that one to come out. So, as for this book, I would definitely have to give it a 5 out of 5. This book had classic TMNT. It was just brilliant. I loved this book. The art was awesome, and the story was just amazing. I can't explain how great this was. And that's pretty much all for now. So, stay action-packed and may your stack be fat. See you guys.